And then
Hello
got
guys!
three.
Shut up, Jake. I'm doing my intro. Hey, hey guys, it's Zoning Supporter, and welcome to Legends of Talia Arcadia. It is not a soccer game, but it is made by the people who make the soccer games. Jake is here. Say hi, Jake.
I
So yeah, we're gonna
I'm
get
sorry.
this started.
When did that start? I was watching a Markiplier video on my PS4.
Jake, you're the narrator.
Sometimes when I'm trying to get sleep at night, I can still hear the screams. Is this a horror game now?
No.
What is it? They're impossible to forget. If you'd been in the village of Freycross that night, you wouldn't be able to forget them either. Then again, most of the people who were in Freycross that night died. This is dark and depressing. I was one of the few lucky ones. I wasn't supposed to be in Freycross in the first place. I wasn't born there. I didn't live there. I was just passing. I'd been wandering through the high roads as you do, and I needed a place to stay for the night. The good people of Freycross were more than happy to accommodate me. They practically showered me with invitations to stay in their homes, eat their food, sleep in their beds. It was almost like my presence was some kind of great blessing. And then a horned dragon attacked, the whole village was burnt to the ground.
Well then,
Shit. It's a shame, really.
that's putting it lightly.
Very lightly. Freycross wasn't an important place by any means. Most people in Talia probably haven't heard of it. I hadn't. But the people of Freycross were good, kind people. And when I say that, I mean it. Truly. They spent their lives growing crops, rearing sheep, and fattening pigs for the winter. They had to be self-sufficient because there were no nearby villages or towns to trade with them. They looked after each other. Most of them were illiterate. Apart from the village chief, it didn't matter. Being located in an out-of-the-way corner of the world, on the edge of an ill-traveled high road filled with monsters, they had learned to be strong and bold and self-sufficient. But they all fell over themselves when word would spread that the great hero Arcadia of Little Haven had arrived at the gates of their village. "Oh please, Lady Warrior," said the head of the village.
Said
"Make
the
yourself at
lady of
home."
the village.
I always said, yeah. I didn't know if it was like, yeah. Well, head and lady kind of are like the same thing. They're both like the heads of the village, I guess. Make
Lady is
yourself
second in command.
We are your humble servants.
Right then.
Jeez. They were so excited by my unexpected arrival that they threw a banquet in my honor. They roasted a whole pig on a spit, and that wasn't all. There were meat pies, boiled potatoes, and handmade soups. The food must have taken a long time to prepare, and I was grateful, but a simple meal of bread and cheese would have done just as well. There was music and laughter, and several of the smallest children of Freycross asked, very shyly, for my autograph. Not that they'd be able to read it, of course. They just wanted something to remember me by. I'm not sure why people make such a fuss about me. I never wanted to be a hero. Fortunately, my legend has traveled all across every single corner of Talia. Everyone at Freycross that night knew me. Everybody loved me. They adored me. Was it because I fought in a lot of battles? Was it because of Kadath? I hope not. War is pointless. So is fighting. Those who glorify it, who venerate it, and raise mere warriors like myself to the status of saints, turn my stomach. Not that I think much about Talia's saints. It was hard to focus on my food that night, though the people at Freycross were being so very kind, sharing what I knew were limited resources. They welcomed me with open arms, like I was their close friend. They thought if I was there, nothing would be able to harm them. They were wrong. The dragon killed almost everybody that night. It ravaged the whole village. It burnt the fields to the ground, cooked the far night off the pit, cooked the fat right off the pigs, Jesus, and engulfed all the houses in warm red flames. The houses in Freycross were made of wood. Most people were asleep when the attack happened. They died in their beds. They died instantly. At least I hope they did. The horned dragon's fire is strong enough to melt the flesh off a person's bone and turn the bones themselves into soot.
Way to kill the moment.
If I myself had been lying in bed at the village chief's home, sleeping, perhaps I would have been burnt to a cinder too. You're not. I'm made of flesh and blood like any other mortal, and if I exposed to a horned dragon's fire, I'd almost die instantly. The small alterations the church did to my body back when I was a warrior priest who lived in Spinal would have been for naught. Though I can self-regenerate to a certain degree, there are limits. The horned dragon would definitely push my limits to the breaking point. If I'd been caught up in its fire, I would have perished. But I didn't. That's because I wasn't anywhere near the fire when the dragon attacked.
Shit.
Haha.
I'm still gonna make fun of you for it.
I wasn't even in Freycross. I'd left the village behind me. I was trying to escape. Now you might be wondering why I was trying to flee in the night, like a fugitive from these good people who had offered me so very much and asked for nothing in return. Nothing other than the arm wrestling competitions and my autograph. So many of them wanted autographs, though I don't know why. I'm not a skilled calligrapher. I spent most of my days gripping my sword. Still, it made them happy. It was so skin on my nose, so I did it all the same. But here's the thing. Being referred as a hero for more than a decade can be rather draining. Especially when you're not a hero. I don't think I am. I might be the great warrior Arcadia, scourge of the battlefield, champion of Kadath, the protector of the Amarath village, but at the end of the day, I'm just a human. The church meddled with my body during my stint as a warrior priest, back when I believed that the church was good and right and just. I still bleed when you cut me. Honest to goodness, I do, though the wounds will all close up unusually fast. I don't like being adored and referred and venerated. I don't deserve it, not when my only real talent is killing. Sometimes I worry my legends will eclipse who I really am. In fact, I think that's already happened. There are so many stones about me, some of them true and some of them not, that I can no longer disentangle fact from fiction. I'm not allowed to be a normal. Fuck. My computer sometimes does this thing where it's done this for a long time now, where sometimes it'll just decide to, since my computer's a touchscreen, if I were to like tap my computer, things would move around. Now it's decided to make it like I'm just pressing at the top of my computer screen, but I'm not actually doing it. So now I can't click on anything, but I can still see I can still see the screen.
Okay.
I'm not allowed to be a normal person anymore. I've done too many great works in my short life. So I left. Maybe you could say I ran. The people of Freycross loved me. They believed in me, and I let them down. Maybe if I hadn't left that night, I could have done something. Slay the dragon, perhaps? I don't know. I've never done it before. I hadn't run away, then maybe. But it's useless thinking about what ifs now. What's done is done. How long is this intro going to be?
I have no idea.
By the time I saw the dragon, its scaly body and base against the round full moon, it was much too late. I turned back, ran across Fraycross village, drew my sword. It didn't make any difference. Everything was on fire. Everything was ruins. Almost everybody was dead. The dragon was long gone, of course. It just happened to be passing. Maybe it wasn't even meant to target the village of Fraycross. It just reacted out of instinct. Dragons aren't as smart as people think. The people at Fraycross didn't need a warrior. Not even the great warrior Arcadia, with all her great accomplishments and accolades. They needed white mages, herbalists, and healers. Unfortunately, I've never been very good with magic. That puppy dog. The sword's just compensation, really. Come on, Ollie. Ollie, come on. Come on, puppy. Come on. There we go. I walked through the burning village. The ruined buildings were depressing. The stench of burning flesh was even more so.
That probably smells horrible.
I felt like I was standing in the middle of a war. Like I was back in Kadath. I stood there, surrounded by flicking flames and black soot. The smell of death invaded my nostrils. I suppressed the urge to choke. Aww. There, lying on the ground before me, was a girl. One of the girls who had asked me so eagerly for my autograph. She was still young, only 11 or 12, maybe 13 at a push. She was alive, but barely. She had breathed in a lot of smoke, and she was coughing, choking. She probably wouldn't last the night. The fabric of her tights had torn away in the places. Her legs were blackened and signed. The exposed fat was bubbling like a cauldron. She looked at me. I looked down at her. The cool wind caught in my hair. The smell of dead bodies grew stronger and stronger. The girl opened her mouth, and then she said in a low, pained voice, "Why?" I didn't know what to say. I didn't have any answer to give. I could have said sorry, but what use would that have done? So I didn't apologize. Instead, I looked down at the girl with her burnt legs and her tear-filled eyes, and I said, "That's how life is." And then I walked away. You couldn't have at least gotten her out of there? There was nothing I could have done. You could have gotten her out of the village at least. There's an important part of being a warrior. You have to know when you cut your losses. You have to know when to move on. I'm already a lot liking this person. So I did. She's essentially saying I'm okay with letting a child die. Right in front of me. I left Fraycross village that night. I never looked back. I stopped a medic on the road and told them about Fraycross village. I asked them to help. Maybe they went back. Maybe they didn't. I don't know. I like to think I did all I could, but you didn't do shit. Sometimes when I'm feeling sentimental, I do wonder. Maybe I could have said something a bit nicer to that girl. Something more comforting. She was only a child, really. But the world isn't a very nice place.
I got an achievement.
I hate this person already. Like, she literally just left a child to die and didn't do a damn thing.
Well, Jake, I'm gonna say this right now. She was a child at the time, too.
It's midday and the sun is high in the sky. I walk, my head bent, trying to keep beneath the cover of the trees. Fortunately, in the vast and sprawling little oak forest, there are plenty of those. They're not all oak trees either. I'm no expert on the various flora and fauna of Talia. I lived in the countryside as a child, near a live oak. As a matter of fact, my parents used to point out various treats made when we went for walks. Wait, no. She said she was still famous at the time. Like,
yeah, she started knighthood early. Very early.
Apparently a child with fame doesn't want to help another child. Sycamore.
I mean, you become desensitized at a point, you know.
Sycamore, birch, ash, rosewood. 3 of those names are from Pokemon. They're all staples of my youth. I paused beneath the tree with a sturdy trunk and numerous dark green leaves. An ash tree, I think, and a quite old one, judging by the thickness of its boughs. You need to take a break. Wipe the sweat from my brow. Can we at least see what this girl looks like?
Yeah, I think we're about to.
It's a horribly warm day, muggy, I think you'd call it. It doesn't help that there are bugs everywhere. There are horrible buzzing things. Mosquitoes. I can't stand them. They're terrible here during like the summer and late spring.
Great.
Unfortunately, they seem to be rather attached to me. Just like everything else in Talia. That's because you're a source of food.
There we go.
That's what she looks like. I need to reassess. Where exactly am I going? Back to my home village of Littlehaven, and what remains of it. I suppose I felt nostalgic. After years of wandering Talia, slaying monsters and saving citizens, I think I deserve a break. Even heroes get homesick sometimes. Those are the shortest pair of shorts I've ever seen. I lean against the bark of the tree. It's cool beneath my skin and offers a fair amount of shade. I uncork the flask at my hip and bring it to my lips. It's warm. I went, but drink all the same. While I drink, I examine my surroundings and wave away a few more of the... I can't read. I'm tired. A few more stray mosquitoes. Yay, mosquitoes. Horrible things. Little Oak Forest really is expansive. It would be easy to get lost here. Thinking about it, its name is a bit misleading. Maybe you could call it ironic. I've heard of more than a few travelers who've blundered in here, sincerely believing in Little Oak's name, who got lost and eaten by monsters. Little Oak is filled with monsters. Fortunately, most of them only come out at night. Little Oak's highly ill-fitting name is a holdover from the good old days. As the legend goes, the place used to be a large expanse of lush green fields, flat fields with wildflowers and nothing else to see for miles upon miles. Then, one of Talia's old queens of yore, Queen Leontine, her name was, but she was a princess back then, came here and planted a single acorn in the ground. The acorn grew and grew and dropped more acorns, and Little Oak became the incredible tangle of trees you see before you. There have been numerous petitions to change the name of this place. It's quite outdated now, a good 600 years. Nobody listens. People in Talia like tradition, even if said tradition results in untimely deaths of around 800 people per year. Well, that's just how life is. I cork my jug of water and attach it to my hip once more. My old village shouldn't be very far away now, just past this crossroads. If I take the fork on the left, I can make it before sundown. I start walking, crunching old dead leaves at small hard acorns beneath my sturdy wolf's hide boots when
Help me! Somebody help me! That's the voice for now. I don't know who it is.
now I wonder who that could be.
I'm not gonna do that voice forever because the voice would just get annoying.
We don't even know what the person looks like
Yeah,
yet
so I
or
just
what.
did a stupid voice.
Maybe there's a monster attack. Most monsters only come out at night, but there are always exceptions to the rule.
Please, somebody, anybody!
I wonder if I should help this woman. No, it's a woman.
That's not gonna be her voice for the if she ever. That's not gonna be the voice if once we see her, because I assume we're going to see her.
Yeah.
Because that voice would just get annoying.
Mm-hmm. I have no real obligation to so. I don't know who she is. I don't even know what she looks like. But, well, I am a warrior. Yes, do your job, damn it. Old habits die hard.
All right, hold your horse. I'm coming.
She's like, ugh, I can't believe I gotta do this.
Me.
I turn and retrace my steps and take the right fork as opposed to the left and start walking, searching. It doesn't take me all that long to find the source of the commotion. What?
I got an achievement.
It's a mandragora, a large plant-like monster with a flower for a head and lots of thick, ropey vines. The vines of the mandragora hold a young woman aloft in the air. The vines are wrapped around her legs, her waist, and her arms, and her tits.
Yeah, but we don't mention that.
Her hair is short and soft pink, like primroses. Pretty. She won't be pretty for much longer if the Magdora succeeds in crushing her to death. There's the CG.
Alright, that's where we're gonna end this episode.
I don't think the plant's trying to crush her. I think the plant's trying to eat her.
I mean, what gave you that idea?
The wide open mouth of the flower head.
Please, Jake, don't be ridiculous. Anyway, we will see you in the next episode.
Bye.
Bye bye.